Big companies like Google and others are now requiring you to write the bullet points in your resume a specific way if you want to work there. Honestly, I get why they do this because this is a very effective way to write your bullet points and convey your value, so everyone should be doing this. So the formula is accomplished X as measured by Y by doing Z, which in plain English translates to what you achieved, when and where you achieved it, and how you achieved it. So a perfect example of that is this. Achieved a 10% increase in customer satisfaction during the busy summer season by offering complimentary foot rubs to all customers waiting in line for service. And for hundreds of more incredible resume bullet points that you can use in your resume, check out my ebook, 540 Badass Bullet Points for Your Resume. The link is in my bio. After you get a job offer, do not ask for a higher salary. If you just ask for a higher salary, you are leaving so much on the table, and you're losing a lot of leverage in your negotiations. What you need to do is not just negotiate salary, but negotiate multiple pieces of this package in the same conversation. And that includes things like these. When you negotiate multiple items at a time, the employer has way more options to give you what you want, and they're much more likely to make a concession in the negotiation, meaning that even if they have genuinely offered you as much salary as they possibly could, it's still very likely that you're able to negotiate maybe an extra week of vacation or a signing bonus just for asking. Here is a script you can use to start that conversation once you have a job offer. Like and follow for more job search tips. When you apply to a job, you have 5 to 10 seconds to grab the recruiter or hiring manager's attention, so scannability on your resume is so critical. You cannot rely on someone to read each and every word of every bullet point on your resume. So here's a simple trick that's going to help you get past that 5 to 10 second scan and make all your bullet points pop. At the beginning of each bullet point, we're going to add a little tiny title in bold. So this bullet point about managing Facebook groups, we're going to add community management. For this bullet point about producing content, we'll add content production. And now when someone scans this job, they can quickly see we've done community management, content production, and brand building. Continue that tactic throughout your resume and you are good to go on the scannability. Like this video and follow me for more job search tips, and check out my free resume writing course linked in the bio. And remember, you deserve a job you love. Most people think the interview is the last step in the hiring process. This is wrong, and if you skip this last step, you could risk ruining all your hard work in the process leading up to this final piece. The last step after the interview is the thank you email. It's simple, it's easy to do, it doesn't take long, and for some hiring managers, it is hugely important. So I'm going to show you right now how to write a quick thank you email that is going to make a great final impression and set you up for success. Paragraph 1, thank you so much for taking the time to interview me today. Learning more about you and your company has made me even more excited to work here. Paragraph 2, I was very interested to learn more about blank, and I'm excited by the opportunity to contribute to that goal. Paragraph 3, best of luck as you complete your search process. If you need anything else from me to help you make your decision, please let me know. Like this video and follow me for more job search tips, and check out my free 9 must-have emails for your job search linked in my bio. And remember, you deserve a job you love. Second round interviews are extremely different from first round interviews, obviously. So we need to prepare for them much differently. According to US World and News Report, here are some of the top questions that come up in second round interviews. First, they could be asking future-oriented goals like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, and how does this position align with your goals? 2, they're going to ask about improvement-based questions like, what was a time you learned from a mistake, and how did you improve based on that? 3, they'll ask leadership questions. Can you provide an example of a time you led a team through a challenging project, and what was the outcome? 4, adaptability is huge. Can you give us an example of a time you adapted to a major change? 5, innovation questions like, can you give us an example of a time you contributed to a project or a process improvement through innovation? And of course, they're going to ask about team dynamics with questions like, how do you approach working with a diverse team that has varying perspectives and working styles? If you are job searching right now, please do not do the following. In recruiting, we call this the spray and pray. This is basically where you send one generic resume and cover letter out and apply to as many jobs as possible, and then just sit back, cross your fingers, and hope for the best. This does not work, and trust me, we can tell when you're doing this. Instead, I recommend you select a couple of jobs that you're really excited about, and then we're going to cater your documents towards those jobs. Best way to do this, we're just going to copy and paste the job duties out of the job postings, paste that info into a free word cloud generator, and then use these keywords when you're describing your key skills and accomplishments in your resume. Follow me and like this video for more job search tips, and check out my free resume writing course linked in the bio. And remember, you deserve a job you love. Here's how to get hired when you don't have any experience. And if you already have experience, listen up, because you're going to need this information to help your kids or your grandkids not fall behind in life. So recent graduates and new professionals who have the least trouble getting their first professional job, and like a good job, they're not the ones who had the highest grades. They're not the ones who did the most volunteer work. And they're not the ones who went to all those stuffy networking events during school. New graduates who have the easiest time getting good internships and great new jobs are the ones who were heavily involved in student organizations while they were in school. And this could be anything, like the archery club. The reason is, when you join one of these clubs, you start going to meetings. Then you're volunteering at their events. Next thing you know, you're the treasurer of the club, and then maybe the president. All of a sudden, you're leading a team, managing a budget, planning events, you're recruiting members, you're interacting with stakeholders. Those are all the skills that these internships and entry-level positions want to hire the most. This is awesome. You can use ChatGPT's voice feature to practice your interviews, and it gives pretty good feedback. Watch. I'm interviewing for a cashier job. Can you ask me a practice question and then give me some feedback based on my answer?
Absolutely. Here's a common cashier interview question. How would you handle a situation where a customer is upset because of a pricing error? Go ahead and give your answer, and then I'll provide feedback.
I would apologize to the customer right away. I would look into what caused the error, and then I would promise them that it would never happen again.
Great approach. Acknowledging the customer's concern with an immediate apology is important. To strengthen your response, you could add that you would check the price in the system or consult with a supervisor to understand the error, and then offer a solution, like honoring the correct price or providing a discount on their current purchase.
Never say any of these things in a job interview. They're going to make the hiring manager not like you and not want to hire you. 1. Do not ask about salary or benefits. 2. Don't say anything bad about your old job. 3. Please don't ask, when will I be hearing back? 4. Oh, by the way, if you want to know what to do instead of these things, go check out my most recent YouTube video. But number 4, don't swear. Obviously. 5, don't answer what is your biggest weakness with a cliche answer. 6, don't admit it when you don't have an answer to their question. 7, never say I'm nervous. And number 8, don't ask about sick days or vacation days either. If you don't keyword optimize your resume, you are not getting through the ATS scanners and you are not getting hired. Luckily, keyword optimizing is super easy. Here's how you do it. First, copy and paste the job posting into ChatGPT along with this prompt. Then you take those 21 skills they gave you and put them in your resume here, here, and here. For bonus points, use them